guys, welcome back to the More Life Pod, and we have an exclusive episode. So today I am here with Menace clothing line, and today I have
August Gregory. People call me August though.
Okay, and I have
Dia Smith.
Okay. How y'all doing today?
We making it.
I can't complain.
We chilling,
You know what I'm saying?
God is good.
Yes, been a good day.
I don't like that. No, I need some energy.
Look, you get a tip off, man. You know. My bad.
Okay, so you have a clothing line called Menace. What does Menace mean to you?
So for me, we started the brand. Menace was more so going with the unpopular opinion. And with that, we were trying to, we didn't want to do the trendsetters. We wanted to do the pressed on tees and all that. We wanted to get into more of the garments and more so get into the storytelling. So when I say go with the unpopular opinion, go with whatever your opinion is and stick with it. And let's build something based off of that. So that's what Menace was for me.
Okay, what about you?
Menace is really something that we kind of, collaborated with to begin with, to do something different in Houston. We didn't see quality, we didn't see storytelling behind like clothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like print and press, like he said, get it out, get the orders, get the numbers. And we wanted to do something that every collection was going to be able to be different, and just, fill different holes within, creativity. So that's what Menace is, just being different and being, aggressively different at that.
Okay.
I forgot you was a teacher, bro. Like you got that background. You can explain yourself in a whole different manner than I can, bro. Appreciate that.
I be trying.
I like that. Y'all a good little duo,
bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. If you hear our conversation, bro,
real raw and uncut. Okay. So, can you tell the viewers what role you play in Menace?
So for me, I'm a designer. I'm funding everything. Like this is the vision. So whenever I was creating this collection, I was more so trying to tell my story and my childhood, and not just also mine, but other people's childhoods and just the whole upbringing as a child. So I guess whenever we get into the collection more, so I kind of break it down a little bit more. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's can you ask that one more time?
What role do you play in Menace?
So I'm the creative director. Pretty much whatever Menace got going on. I've worked on some of the pieces with him, but he's the mastermind behind most of the pieces. But it's funny because we try to make sure there's a story behind the clothing, right? So like every time we do some kind of clothing, the pieces of the clothing got something to do with, his life. The production of, putting the clothing out and the marketing of the clothing has a lot to do with, what childhood and things mean to me, you know what I'm saying? So every collection that's put out, we kind of like slice it right down the middle, you know what I'm saying? To make sure I could tell a story and that he can tell a story too. So I think that's really cool about, what Menace is. It's like, it's a real collaborative type of, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
she is really good at enhancing everything. Like if I say, hey, this is what my thought process for this piece, she would go and like do that digging and do that research and like tell it in a different manner. Like she is crazy when it comes to creative directing. So like I'm not gonna go like when you come to the show, I'm gonna tell you, bro. Like I almost shed a tear at last practice. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, because it was so beautiful, man. Like the clothing is one thing, but to embody it and to really like push it out in a certain manner where you can touch and pull on heartstrings, it's a blessing.
Okay. So, what was your relationship like with fashion growing up?
Ooh, girl. My mom is very fashionable, and she early 2000s hot girl, you know what I'm saying? So like seeing her, put it on, I'm like, ooh, I like them shoes, like I like this, and she allowed me to kind of be like super fluid in my clothing, you know what I'm saying? Especially, growing up in LA, it's like, Chucks and certain things, but she made sure that I was able to wear baby doll shoes, wear that, and if I wanted to, I can go completely the other direction and like big baggy pants, big baggy tee, you know what I'm saying? I know some people, moms, you're like, you a girl, you gonna wear pink, you know what I'm saying? And she allowed me to kind of be expressive in that way. And again, her too, like, okay, girl, I see what you got on. It might not be super girly, or it might not be, super tomboyish, but everything, like shapes and all the other good stuff, has been a big played a big role in my mom and how she allowed me to, express myself. Yeah, in clothing.
Okay. What about you?
So for me, my mom always said like, hey, it's not about the dollar amount of the piece, but it's how you put it on. So like we was big on Ross, Michaels. Like, all right, like look, we got it how we got it. You know what I mean? We wasn't the richest, we wasn't the poorest though either. But my mom was very much like, if you know how to put it together, then you got style to you. For me, I won't say I wasn't corny, but like for me, like I wore suits in high school. So like people were like laughing at me. Like I was telling you, I could pull up old pictures of me and Susan like really dressing that down. So like I really went against the grain. I didn't really care for for me more so the streetwear, like it evolved over time. But I'm more so like if you look at my style now, like I kind of dress the streetwear up more so. So that's always kind of been me. Like it just evolved over time. Had a little suave kind of thing going on for a little bit, but like for the most part, like if you know how to put it together, like that was always my thing. Like I dressed it up. Like I was always preppy.
And to attest to that, I think the collection that he puts out is like statement pieces. You know what I'm saying? So when you do go to Ross or you do go to, anywhere else, TJ Maxx, those pieces are to pop. You know what I'm saying? To be like, I like that cardigan. That's crazy where you get that cardigan from. So if you could dress, you know what I'm saying? The pieces that you get from Menace are like, oh, okay, this is an additive to, your own style. So that's what I really like about Menace too.
Okay. So where did the name "Don't Grow Up Too Soon" come from?
She gotta take this one. Yeah.
Don't grow up too soon. So just a little backstory about like how the collection even started. We was in his apartment, just chilling, and we was thinking about like the next collection. We looking around. It's like, let's look at some colors. Like we started off with a base palette of colors. It was a suit jacket.
Now hold on, you talking about the first collection, right?
Was that the first collection?
That was the first collection.
That was the first collection.
I had put on my suit, some brown loafers, an orange blanket and like a blue shirt or something like that, and that was the first collection. And it was funny because I was smoking hookah that night too. So after that was the first collection, and that was the winter collection, whatnot. This collection, man, what happened? I think you came back, but again, she had left or whatever. I was smoking hookah, but I was seeing swirl. I like the hookah, you know what I'm saying, the hookah clouds. Like, I was seeing swirls, and I was like, dang, it's something about swirls that was kind of throwing me. I was like, man, I kind of want some ice cream. And then something just said sherbet.
Yeah.
And then I think the next time we met her, you was like, man, what about if it was sherbet? I was like, that's crazy, because I just thought the same exact thing. Like it was, like when I tell you like how everything, with me and her, how it sunk. Like this whole this collection and the last collection was what 3-4 years in the making now. Yeah. Like this was planned out a while ago, and it just took us a minute to get there because we wanted to. We don't care about the quantity, but the quality of everything. That was our main thing. But yeah, like this was like between. So it was the palette, and then we said sherbet for this one because we knew that the sage green was gonna be the transition.
Sage green
was transition because we had sage green in the first collection, and then this one it was like, the sage was part of the sherbet, and then we were going back and forth about types of themes, and then we were like, all right, bet, like we're gonna do the preppy kind of vibe.
Right, it started with the prep.
And then we were kind of playing with schools, and it was like now we have two. And then we had like two types of things to play. It was like, we could play with the sherbet, with the ice cream, and then we could also play with the school. But then like as time kind of went on, I developed more and more of my craft. Then that's when I was like, dang, what was it growing up? Like what happened? Like what was going on? And it was a lot. It's a lot of things that partook in this last year and leading up to the show as well. So that was as far as the whole collection piece, but as far as the show, like
the Don't Grow Up Too Soon was pretty much like the sherbet, right? Because you know the push pops that you get from like so it really just started there. My mom used to get us that all the time.
My granny too.
Yeah, like all the time. That was her favorite thing to get us. It was really cheap, a couple of cents. You push it up, and it was clean. You ain't had to like dig in it with a spoon. You just push it up. But Don't Grow Up Too Soon. This past year, my favorite album was called Don't Grow Up Too Soon by Nascent, and it had some of my favorite artists on it, like a bunch of people from TDE. It was just a really, really hefty and good project. Absol, like amazing project. Really just breaking down like, hey, chill out. You got time. You know what I'm saying? And I just had my first baby I have a newborn.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm the second oldest of 11. So the don't grow up too soon really is just like, and seeing them all, they all graduated. Like they almost grown now. So it's like seeing everybody that kind of like growing up, really just like they need something to like grab onto, and I think we all need something to grab onto. You know what I'm saying? Childhood is such an important piece of everybody's life, and it really changes us into, you know, who we are today. And I think if we had a mindset, the mindset of a child, you know, the mindset of being joyous, the mindset of like not caring too much about everything, like everything ain't serious for real.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So just like bringing that back and into what we're doing, is like even the process of all of it is really not careless, but it's not as, you know, like strenuous or like aggressive as it was last year. You know, last year's fashion show was like super serious and like dark and like I shed a tear during that one too, but it's just like because what it was, right? But like this one is a whole different kind of like feeling and emotion. You know, it's nostalgia and like just bringing everybody in. We all love childhood. At the end of the day, it might have hurt us a lot, but we got to see the beautiful things in it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I like that. I like that. So, what is it like preparing for a fashion show?
When you got a team that's capable, it ain't too hard. You know what I'm saying? I think we pulled in some amazing people. We pulled in some amazing stylists. Last year, I did a lot of it alone. And Greg, while I was on my maternity leave, Greg really kind of like pulled a lot of people in that either I worked with before, haven't worked with before, that kind of had their own motion, their own, you know, ecosystem, their own thought process. So being able to get stylists, hairstylists, makeup artists, PR professionals, everybody there that, you know, kind of has a gist of what Don't Grow Up Too Soon is. It's not hard when we all had almost the same childhood. You see it all the time, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't hard really putting it together. Even when it comes to, you know, location wise, it's a great location to, you know, for everybody to get there. The models are amazing. They're very seasoned. So it wasn't too hard of a, you know, a task for real, for real.
I like that. I like that. What about you?
For me, it was more so about the clothes and the pieces. Like, it was more so like, okay, making sure that the manufacturers got everything correct, make sure the sketches were down packed, and like just making sure that everybody could fit what they needed to fit. But then again, that's kind of more so before the show. But as we got close to the show, like she kind of said, like she was gone for a year. So I'm like, all right, I still gotta have something going on. We still gotta kind of push it because I know it's coming. So, and we had already said, all right, bet. Like I said, this was like 3-4 years in the making, so we already knew, all right, cool, this last year, this is gonna be this collection, this next year is gonna be this collection. So I'm like, all right, I know she out. Man, she was out the game for y'all. I took my dog out. But man, I had to go figure it out. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go spread my wings and fly a little bit. Because when it came to this creative world, I was really new to it. She had been doing it for a while. So like, even with like me designing clothes, this was all still new to me, but I didn't know how good I was at it until I started getting it in and really started getting the passion behind it. So it was a like, when I say it was a process for me. But she is really known when it comes to the creative world, and especially in Houston. So I was like, all right, I see how she operated. I bet, and this is the tip for up and coming fellas that's coming up: get you a woman behind you. Like, if you get a woman behind you, I tell you, they go. I'm telling you, bro, like they got your back, but like they would teach you business on a whole different level, and they would show you different angles to it as well. So, just FYI. But yeah, I had to go out, spread my wings and fly, shake some hands and whatnot. And I kept running to certain people, and it was. You gotta kind of listen to your intrusiveness and your intuition a little bit with some people, especially when it comes to the styles. I was like, I see you and I see what you're doing. Something's telling me I need to come talk to you. And I'm very picky about who I deal with. I don't let everybody in my house, especially when it comes to the team. I don't like to mess with everybody. I'm real picky when it comes to that, because especially off of something that me and her built, it can be one person that can tear the whole house down. I ain't going for that, because I ain't going for that. So, it was more so preparing all that, making sure that everything was set up for her to come back whenever she was ready. and then we pressed the button. So it was funny because she got frustrated at me at one point. She was like, "What's going on? Okay, I'll be back soon." I'm like, oh, "Okay, cool, whatever." And I didn't blow her off, but since I was like, "Whenever you ready, you ready." She fussed me one time. She was like, "Hey, bro, you been ignoring me. Like, what's happening?" I was like, "I'm frustrated."
He wanted to sit down.
Yeah, I'm like, "Hey, bro, you been away."
Enjoy the baby.
She was like, "I'm ready though." I'm like, "All right, it's better. Let's press the button." And once that button pressed, it was like go since then. And this, like, even with this whole show, like, we was planning this last year, November time frame, I think.
A while ago.
Like, this was a minute. So like, we here in May, but like, this was planned a year ago, and then planned before that 3-4 years ago on top of that. So like, we got, I think we had like, I still got old sketches from like the first, like how we originally wanted the show. It's way different than how it is now. Like, we wanted like the whole, like, we like, man, that was gonna be beautiful. I ain't gonna lie to you, because like, we had each section was gonna be a certain way, and each section was gonna be a theme, and like, it was a whole thing. But
a lot of money.
Yeah, it hurt my pockets. yeah. But it was like preparing and whatnot. But once everything was kind of set in stone, I gave it to her. She took it, she ran with it, and it was more so like I was more so on the behind the scenes, and I'm letting her do her thing. I don't want to step on toes or whatnot, and I know how she is. She's more so like, give me the ball, and she's gonna take it to the house. That's what it is with her.
Okay. I really like the fact that this didn't take, a year. Like, it took 3 years.
Yeah.
Meaning that, like, your faith, your hard work, your teamwork, and collaboration, like, that was a process within itself too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Greg is a mastermind when it comes to, I seen it, I think we seen it in each other when we first met, and I was like, dang, he's so talented. And I know he thinks the same of me. I think we think so highly of each other, to where it's like, them 3 years was literally just strategic, like, trying to figure out chess pieces of what's going to happen. Man, I'll tell you, Greg is like the most innovative networker you will ever meet. This man knows everybody in Houston, dang near. Everybody that needs to be known, mostly. And
man.
That's crazy.
I don't think that's crazy.
Greg, and I think just because it was like, Greg will always say, slow boogie better than no boogie. That's one of his favorite sayings, and it's like, in reality, and one of my favorite sayings is, slow like an oven, never fast like a microwave. You know what I'm saying? Because, you get what you get if you do it fast. Do it right the first time, you ain't got to do it again.
Right.
It's something my mama always told me. So I think the fact that the process was so slow, and that we could kind of like see the pieces, feel the pieces, smell the pieces, you know what I'm saying? And then come together and figure out what it needs to be. Them 3 years definitely need, I don't know, next year you might need 6.
The next one is gonna be beautiful, because it's not my story. I'm telling other people's story. Like, it's a little bit of that with this collection, but it was more so what I seen growing up. And I'm not from here. I'm from Tennessee, so it's a whole different culture out there than it is in Houston. But my family's out in Houston, so I would come and visit. So it's like a split between 2 cities in a way. But that's a whole another story for a whole another day within itself. So y'all see that unfold after the show on top of that. So, but yeah, like, it's a process, bro. The next collection is gonna be really beautiful, because it's gonna be. It's something for the culture, but it's something that hasn't really been talked about more so. That's really all I can really say about that one.
Okay, you got me excited.
I like that. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
Okay, so in what ways does your brand mission go beyond fashion into like purpose or impact?
I haven't seen too many brands tell stories the way I have so far. There's one, and I kind of get inspo from him. It's Emery with Denim Tears. With him, the whole thing with the whole cotton thing and his whole collection with Denim Tears, or his whole process with Denim Tears, he's trying to tell a story about slavery. And when I was studying that and I was watching some of his interviews, I'm like, dang, like, how do I make people connect with my clothes, but how do I also tell a story of my pieces? Like, I want each piece to have its own individual style, their own individual story. So with studying that and kind of like watching him and how he moves, it altered my brain during this process, because how I was thinking at first was not how it ended up at the end. So that's really the whole, especially with the brand and whatnot, like it's its own standalone thing, but the piece is its own standalone thing as well. If that answered your question or so.
Okay. It did.
Yeah, really good answer.
Okay. What about you?
Menace, I think even any aspect of Menace is, you know, just being different. You know, being different and doing anything that's unpopular, anything that's not, you know, the norm. And I think with his style of clothing, my style of storytelling, that's what Menace is. And I think the more we branch out, the more color schemes that are, you know, put out, the more ideas that are put out, I think that's going to create, and it has created, attraction to where it's like, okay, what are they going to do next? You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is completely different from last time. So I know the next time, the third time, the fourth time, it's probably going to be completely different, which it is. Like, oh, the man, it's like, and it's like a roller coaster, really. You know what I'm saying? So Menace is more than just like, you see like Louis Vuitton, they got like the same kind of style, same shit, you know, like you see everybody else, but Menace is literally something new for everybody, you know what I'm saying? It just widens the gap between what fashion is and what realism is, I think. So
Okay, I like that. All right, so why was partnering with kids meals important for this campaign?
With the kids meals, last year we wanted to do a donation. It was a lot going on, and we didn't have that much time. We didn't have that big of a team as well. So I wanted to make sure that I did something this year, and I wanted to be kid related since the collection was about childhood. So that was the importance of partnering with kids meals.
we love kids. I worked with kids for a long time too. So like since I've been here like 5 years. I started at the Boys and Girls Club, Houston Texas Teen Club downtown.
Okay.
I've been a teacher. I've been a substitute. I'm a volleyball coach. I train, you know, kids. So kids are my life. You know, my youngest sibling is literally like 4. So like, yeah. Wow. So I love kids. So I love kids. Love kids.
Okay. So what is kids meals?
With the kids meals, I think we're feeding around with 250 kids and whatnot, and we're gonna be decorating these paper bags and whatnot, and they're gonna be going to these kids, and they're gonna put different, it's pretty much like a sack lunch that is going into these brown paper bags that we're gonna be decorating, and we're feeding 250 kids.
Okay, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
I like that a lot. So how does it feel to give back?
Amazing. It feels good to be able, especially in this economy, and especially about how the world is going and how important it is to, you know, give back. There's a lot of kids that go hungry. You know, a lot of kids that go hungry. They think it's all only like, you know, out the States. Right here in the States, the kids is hungry. You know what I'm saying? Right here in the ghettos, the kids is hungry. So it's really important for us to be able to give back and give back not only in a sense of like, you know, feeding the kids, but giving the kids a visual of like what you can do. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my biggest things. And next year I want to incorporate, you know, more, you know, teens, more, you know, people that are just getting into college, to kind of show them like, hey, it's possible for you to do the creative thing here. You know what I'm saying? To do the creative thing as you are, you know, a kid. So yeah, it's amazing to give back so they can, you know, see that is necessary and doable. Somebody got to do it. The government ain't doing it.
We gonna do it.
Right.
That's beautiful. Okay. So what would you say to a kid today who might be dealing with the same struggles that you once faced?
Dang. Okay. I would say trust your instinct, trust your gut, show grace to yourself, especially like if being a black man in America, I feel like we put a lot on us without having to try and whatnot. So always show grace to yourself. It's gonna be okay. See it through, but trust your process. Don't rush it. A lot of us, especially with social media, and whatnot, like we see it, we want to go and like we think it's gonna be a certain way, but God gonna say no. You're not meant to go down this road. Shift, maneuver, but it's not a race. It's a marathon. So make sure that you take your time, but quality over quantity, and trust your process and really dive and figure out who you really are and have that black boy joy within that process as well.
You said that real nicely. You said that real nicely.
Bro, I'm process over here, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Okay, how about you?
Literally, don't grow up too soon. You know, I think as a black girl, seeing what black girlhood looks like in the early 2000s, you know, isn't the best, you know, like representation of us, you know. So don't feel like you have to sell yourself to get to where you got to go. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's your time, your opportunities, you know, your body, like you don't got to sell it. You know what I'm saying? Take your time, just like Greg said, take your time, process, think about what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the world steer you into moving too fast, because that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Moving too fast, thinking you getting left behind, or maybe even, you know, that you not gonna get nowhere. But like, slow it down, take your time, don't grow up too soon, think about it, you know, imagine, manifest, you know what I'm saying? Like, really hold space for what you really want to do, and try to block out everything else, because it's so easy for social media to really get you there to think like, ooh, I ain't got this, I want that, and realizing that minimalism ain't only, you know, a way of living, it's a safe way of being, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't grow up too soon, man.
I like that. So it's interesting that you said that. I just did an episode where I was talking about my family and things, and I was saying how growing up I didn't have anybody to, you know, cultivate my creativity, because I felt like I had a lot of it. And it seems like, you know, when we get older and we don't have people that pour into us, you tend to lose it, or, you know, you'll gain your spark eventually. Right. So I think you said that.
Like, even like finding community, because sometimes your given family might not understand you, may never understand you till the day you die. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like, me meeting Greg, that is literally my God-given family. Might not be kin, might not be blood, but I'll put Greg above a lot of folks. You know what I'm saying? So finding people that pour into you, that see you want to do good, because, you know, that's sometimes here or there, or maybe not there with family. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say is, a lot of people that I love very dearly, you know, ain't really family, you know. So it's amazing to see community, build community, and then love that community like your family over, you know, the course of however many years. People gonna show up for you if they really fuck with you. They don't show up.
That's a fact.
Okay. So what do you hope people take away from this collection? Culturally, you know, emotionally?
Greg, you answer that first, babe.
Throw it on me. You call me, bro. As far as for me, last year we made a statement. Nobody really knew who I was. Nobody even knew I really made clothes. We wanted to make a statement last year. This year, we wanted to really propel and really get into it. So for me, of course, shows don't grow too soon, but to always like the message. I really want people to walk away with this message that we're about to push out. And then as far as for I'm real big on my team. For me, like she said, I handpicked a lot of people, but when my team goes out, I really want them to walk away with a lot of opportunities, more so for my team. And if you're in that building, I hope that you can connect with my team and you can not leverage, but really propel your business as well with my team. The message, connection, and network. I'm missing something else. I'm keeping it bad with you. It's something else. Come back to me though. Run
it back. But no, the message behind it all is really that one, you ain't gotta wear all black all the time. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta wear muted colors. You ain't gotta be hard, especially when it comes to male, because a lot of the pieces are more male driven this year. And it's like, you can wear pinks, you can wear purples. We ain't gonna call you gay. You okay? No. You know what I'm saying? You can still wear these colors and still be masculine. You know what I'm saying? And even the cuts of clothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can still wear a baggy pants and still feel feminine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the product is so, it's so like broad to where any piece really for the male, it's for the female, it's for the short. Some of it's for the tall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's just an amazing collection, and just because of the story behind it, it just propels it to where it needs to go. You know what I'm saying? But the colors, for real, like, yeah, anybody could rock a color. I don't see too much of these like colorful statement pieces. I don't see it, and I love a color. I don't know. I love a color. You know what I'm saying?
That might just be from us being from the South, for real. 'Cause I see a lot of colors where I grew up. So, yeah.
A lot of flowers, a lot of floral, a lot of oranges and sunshines and sunsets and things like that. I think it's very important to still take in those colors, because like they say, like, kids, if you sit a kid in a room with no color, they mental is like diluted. You know what I'm saying? Like, the colors are kind of what propels kids to grow. Their brain grows in that way. You know that? I learned that.
I've never heard that before. I'm like, oh, okay, that's so rude.
I got a couple books on parenting recently. Yeah. So it's like, it's for everything to be dim. Like, I know y'all been to like certain like locations here in Houston where like the McDonald's signs is white. Like you know what I'm saying? Everything is like minimalist and like gross and techie. Like, eventually we're gonna be all wearing gray or some random nasty color. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to take the fun out of everything.
Yeah.
They trying to take the fun out of America. So don't do that. So yeah, grab you some color. So important.
Sorry.
Did it come back?
Okay.
Nah,
but what you said was still spot on. No, this was a long time in the making. So you're gonna walk away with something. Mm-hmm. Just being outside, smelling it, you'll walk away with something. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's gonna walk away with something. So yeah, I'm fine though.
Okay, so where do you see Menace evolving in the next 5 years?
Oh, Paris. Like, yeah, we. No, I don't.
That was a fast response.
Yeah. This was like, I never. Yes, like, Houston is home, but I don't see myself being just here. Like, this is meant for New York, LA, Paris. Like, I don't. Yeah, we're gonna take our time with it, but we're gonna travel with this, and we're gonna get this out. Cause the things that, like, these pieces and what I'm making, like, is everybody, they gonna want it. I know it. I know they gonna want it. Mm-hmm. So Paris for sure. Probably some collabs. I do want to see some collabs with just some different side quest collabs, like just randoms. You know what I mean? like I really want to, like, Menace. Yes, it's a brand. Yes, we make clothes, but I want to get into different things and different markets as well. Evolve the brand as a whole. Make it a house, but make it to where creatives can come here and they can learn something and really not have that support that they can't really get from Houston. Like, that's the whole reason why I built this brand, for people to come here and learn something and to evolve and elevate and then move on and go to do bigger and better things. Like, you're not meant to stay here, and nobody's meant to stay here. Now, if you do stay here, don't get me wrong, I'm blessed, I'm grateful, but you're always supposed to move on, and this is gonna be a family. Like, this is a thing. We're gonna ruffle some feathers. We might ruffle each other's feathers, but at the end of the day, we're gonna still hold each other down. We're gonna see it through. So.
Okay.
Yeah. What? It's my turn? Dang, what was the question? I'm sorry. I'm over here just listening.
How do you see Menace evolving in the next 5 years?
As far as like you said, collabs, I can see that kind of being a really cool additive to Menace. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like telling other people's stories, whatever that looks like, and we got enough stories on our own, but people are amazing. You never know who you're gonna run into, what kind of story they want to tell, and how we could put pen to paper, me and Greg, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's gonna be cool to see.
Okay. Well, this concludes the interview. How you feeling?
Hey.
You was nervous.
Man, I thought I was gonna need some drink, but I guess not. I made it through. Still
might go get that.
Hey, man, we just might. That was dope. This is a blessing. I'm glad you allowed me to tell my story.
Great interviewee. Okay, girl.
That's right. I'm glad y'all reached out.
Appreciate it.